What's up, everybody, and welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I am Drew Beausoleil. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That's the one, the only Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, welcome back, buddy.
Man, you kill those intros. I feel like an MMA fighter every time.
Dude, coming up on today's show, Sony acquires powerhouse team Housemarque. Dude, I can't say I'm all that surprised. id Software is working on an Untitled project, and Xbox Cloud gaming service is coming for Ultimate Game Pass members. This is an ITG Daily. You can find us over on twitch.tv/the official ITG live every single day, as well as YouTube. But if you can't join us live, it's no big deal. Hit us up later at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, and TV streaming networks around the globe. Well, Scott, you ready to get into it, man?
Oh, I think I'm ready. There's some big headlines here.
Absolutely, dude. We're all on fire this morning, man. There's a lot going on. Sony acquires Housemarque. So Housemarque, for me personally, big fan. Followed them for years, but they've always been like just under the radar for a lot of people, I think. And they've been second party to Sony. So now acquired by Sony. Now makes them first party. Let's get in the article. Sony Interactive Entertainment announced today, this actually being yesterday, I got my press release this morning, to say that SIE has completed the acquisition of Housemarque. Housemarque has developed 8 titles exclusive to PlayStation consoles, including Returnal, Nex Machina, and Alien Nation. And whoa. And PlayStation 4 launch title, Resogun. Dude, that game was sick. The fact that they don't have it on here kind of hurts my feelings, I'm going to be honest. With the recent release...
I'm not familiar with that one. But...
Oh, dude, it's so good. It is awesome. Resogun. Everybody go check that out. If you have not played Resogun, man, PS4 launch title, thing was fantastic. With the recent release of the huge popular PS5 exclusive Returnal, Housemarque evolved its trademark style gameplay by weaving a haunting narrative into a 3D bullet hell shooter. Based in Helsinki, Finland. I think that's how you... Helsinki?
Helsinki.
Jeez, man.
That's right.
Finley. Housemarque will join the global development operations of PlayStation Studios and will be the 13th studio to join the PlayStation family. Housemarque has flexed its creative palette on a wide range of PlayStation games over the years that have continually showcased the power of our hardware, said Jim Ryan, president and CEO of Sony Interactive Entertainment. The addition of Housemarque to PlayStation Studios reiterates our commitment to elevating the best development teams in the industry and delivering new experiences they can only be found on the PlayStation platform. Man, yeah, I get it. Not only, but yeah, I guess now with Housemarque, there are, dude, that's just it's an industry thing to do that, to throw that around, right? You see it over on Xbox, you see it on PlayStation. It's the only place to find Yeah. I get it. I love it personally. I'm a big fan. But just to see that reiteration every time, I don't know, man. It gets old. Does not get old, Scott?
Yeah, I was ready to break bottles a long time ago to end this console war, and I thought we were already on the positive side of that, but it seems like it's not quite the case yet.
No, not quite.
I think the reason I wasn't aware of the shooter that you just brought up and Housemarque in general is because they've been second party somewhat to PlayStation. They've kind of put themselves in a box. And I'm not being a heavy PlayStation user. I just hadn't known of them until Returnal.
No, for sure, right? But that's what I said. They've made so many exclusives for PlayStation. You almost thought they were already part of the PlayStation family. That was the biggest thing for a lot of us that are Housemarque fans. They just felt like PlayStation was home for them, right? With a proven track record of creating original games that feature best-in-class gameplay, Housemarque is a highly accomplished studio, and we couldn't be more thrilled to officially welcome them to the PlayStation Studios family, said Herman Hulst, head of PlayStation Studios. Dude, they've been creating stuff with PlayStation for 15 years. About time they got picked up by PlayStation. It's been a long time coming, so I'm glad to see that it's worked out for them, and they're getting somewhere now. The best part is, Returnal, they focused heavily on PlayStation 5. It was a PlayStation 5 exclusive. It was fantastic. I absolutely adored the game. It was hard. Some say it's not as hard as I am kind of saying it. But, dude, for me, I'm not that Demon Souls, Dark Souls kind of guy. This is kind of fell in that vein. And then you needed to complete the entire game in one playthrough, more or less. And it was just, dude, what a game. It was super cool.
Yeah, I've been looking from a distance, and Returnal is quite impressive based on everything I've seen. Yeah. So and I believe it sold like gangbusters. So hopefully that nets Housemarque quite a bit of funding for their next projects, in addition to this PlayStation acquisition.
I'm curious to see what they develop next, right? Because they have such a somewhat diverse library of games for the PlayStation. Resogun, they've done these top-down, other shooters, they've done side-scrollers. Now they get into this whole genre. So every time they seem to iterate and move forward into something new and exciting. Definitely curious to see what the future holds for Housemarque. I don't think we'll see anything out of them for the next 4 to 5 years, probably. I would say at this point, they just released Returnal on the PlayStation 5, right? And I think it did so well, Scott, because all of us on PlayStation 5 are starving for some kind of exclusive there as well.
Yeah, which makes me think, I wonder how much Microsoft offered this business.
Oh,
the PlayStation had to outbid them, just because that seems to be the way Xbox is acting as of late. So
yeah, no, for sure. I don't know if they'd actually be able to. I don't know. Just because they've been so second party for PlayStation, right? They've done so many exclusive titles on the PlayStation platform that I don't even know if that was entertained. I'd be curious to see behind closed doors if Xbox even came to the table for them or not.
And it's a few years late yet for the Xbox Series X kind of exclusives, but that's kind of what I think that's what the hunger's for.
No, absolutely. We got some new hunger going on too, Scott, with an untitled id Software project has been rated in Australia, and fans have theories. An id Software project, codenamed Project 2021B, has been rated by the Australian Classification Board, and naturally, fans of the studio have all sorts of theories about what it could be. Scott, what do you got? Anything?
Well, I have a suspicion that I think it may come up a little further in here, but it's been a very long time since we've seen Quake. I believe Quake Wars was the last, but that was kind of a flop. Quake 3 before that.
Yep.
So there's room for a HD remaster, that's for sure.
Oh, really? So the game's been rated M for mature, obviously because of violence. That is what id Software is known for, and online interactivity. So, which is pretty much a modern day id Software in a nutshell. Nothing really that kind of surprising to be coming forward, but there's also Curiosity's code name is very similar to Project 2021A, another id Software game rated by the same board back in January, which ended up being Doom 3 on the PlayStation VR. So, speculations, man. Like, everybody's kind of like, what is this? 2021, though, Scott. You think we'll be getting something this fall?
It seems that way, right? Yeah. If they're codenaming
by year,
yeah, if they're coded by year and that really matters. Project 2021A already came out in the early part of this year, right? So then B could be the final half of the year.
Yeah.
But I would expect it 2021 just based on that alone.
Yeah, no, for sure. Nate joins us over at twitch.tv/theofficial ITG, just like you can, and says, QuakeCon? Good question, Nate, right? QuakeCon is coming, I believe, so we'll see what happens when things get announced, if anything comes out of that. QuakeCon 2021 is happening in August, so that's just around the corner, too. Maybe we'll find out more about what the Project 2021B is all about. We'll see if they announce anything. You think we'll see it there, Scott?
I am excited. I think they'll mention something at QuakeCon. If it's not that this project is Quake related, then I think they'll drop a teaser somewhere in there. QuakeCon's a big deal for it in general. So I think that's, if we didn't see anything at E3, which is kind of a surprise to me. So I think QuakeCon would be the place to announce.
The next place, right? Yeah, we saw a lot of stuff coming out of Xbox and Bethesda, but yeah, when it came to id themselves, we didn't really see all that much, did we?
No, not by my recollection.
Yeah. So maybe QuakeCon is what they're waiting for. It's nice to kind of have something to hold back, right? Because you want to keep that momentum going. I thought Xbox crushed it with E3, so maybe they can keep moving it forward, and then we get into QuakeCon and everybody just loses their mind once again. And then where do you get this piece of software? On your Xbox platform, right? So they keep that mind share alive as well.
Yeah, oh, I'm flooded with memories of Quake 3 getting destroyed online, and that guy Detriment, if you're out there, you defeated me, and you defeated everybody at QuakeCon that year. I saw the picture proof. I want to get into another Quake, another multiplayer set.
Yeah,
I want it to be modern. I'm excited for whatever's coming down the pipe.
very cool. We'll see what the future holds for QuakeCon as well as id Software. But the future's looking strong for Xbox Cloud Gaming. Today, Catherine Gluckstein, VP and Head of Product, Xbox Cloud Gaming at Microsoft, announced that starting today, Xbox Cloud Gaming is available to all Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members with Windows 10 PCs and Apple phones and tablets via the browser across 22 countries, Scott. Ultimate members can go to the xbox.com/play on Microsoft Edge, Chrome, or Safari on a PC or a mobile device and start over 100 games on the Xbox Game Pass library. Once again, fleshing that out. And one of the things I took away from the article, Scott, actually, was as of today, about 1 in 6 players playing on the cloud are using the touch controls.
Oh, wow.
I know, dude.
That's a surprise for me.
That's what I was like, wow, really? 1 in 6? I guess, though, when you're on your mobile platform, right, your mobile device, it's just easier than trying to attach a controller. I just reviewed the Nimbus Plus for Apple devices, thanks to the SteelSeries. Dude, that thing was fantastic because I primarily am a console gamer, so I like to have the controller. And going to mobile has always had that bit of a disconnect for me, and I find a bit of a struggle because it is the touch screen and not a controller. So to be able to play Xbox games with a touch screen, to me, just seems a little off. I'd much rather have Sea of Thieves and a controller in my hand than say anything else.
Yeah, there are legions of kids, I'll say, legions of players that play Fortnite mobile, play PUBG mobile.
Yeah.
And they possess some skills that I don't believe I will ever acquire. But I need that controller with me. But this is cool. I think I partook in some sort of beta to deal with this Xbox Cloud a long time ago, and I had to bring the controller. But it was kind of funny sitting in a diner with my Xbox controller, looking at my phone. That was a little strange, but
dude, we're taking over the world.
This is cool.
I love it, right? Mobile gaming now is actually kind of transformed a little bit to this cloud streaming service. Whether you want to use Xbox Game Cloud or I still call it Project X Cloud, dude. It's just been what it's called for so long. But Xbox Cloud Gaming and Stadia is there as well, and then you've got Nvidia as well with their GeForce, all kind of stuff. All this streaming platform content is now being more and more accessible, and it allows us to take what we call our core games and bring them with us, which is, man, what a time.
Yeah, the game that I played on it when I was testing it out was DayZ, and that was incredibly difficult. I can't even comprehend trying to use motion controls on that one, but
yeah,
it's interesting to see that it really is a shift. There's still room to grow. There is some screen somewhere that Game Pass has not yet touched, but not for long.
Yeah, it's coming to your fridge here awfully soon, so keep an eye out for that. Well, let's get into some new other content. Scott, we got veteran Halo and Battlefield devs are creating a brand new shooter. The team is already made up of 25 people with video game veterans Scott Warner and Rosie, what is Zagor Cheva?
Zagor Cheva.
Yeah, at the helm. Scott has experience on the Halo franchise. He was the lead designer on Halo 4. Rosie also comes from a shooter background. She was the senior director on EA Star Wars Battlefront, Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 5. So we got a quote here saying, "We're working on a first-person shooter competitive game live service with a lot of people assembled who have made those games for quite some time. We're concentrating on PC and console for now, but ultimately we want our game to be played on as many platforms as it can be." Scott, they're getting into a realm that seems already very flooded.
Yeah, that's true. And without knowing too much about, who worked on what project,
Sure.
just the idea of the headline here, Halo Battlefield devs coming together, it sounds like how Titanfall was created.
Yeah, very
But
much. Respawn.
Titanfall, unfortunately, is starved in its market space. So I have fears for what project could come out of these guys. But knowing that there's so many of these devs behind the project, I really have hopes that it'll hit an audience of some sorts.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it, see what the future holds for them. It is definitely like I said, right? That we've seen a lot of these games already over there. Like the Division 2 instantly comes to mind. I love that game. That game is incredible. So how do you compete with another one like that, right? But there's always room for improvements. There's always room to add in another game. It's just, can they stand out from what's already kind of flooding around us in the world of games? I don't know, man. The games are just never stopping, so we'll see. I'm curious to see what they can create. If it will pull me in, will it go sci-fi, or will it be more like grounded, like the Division 2? Like, who knows? Options are endless, really.
Yeah, it really seems just completely up in the air. They can make something quite imaginative.
No, for sure. Scott, Mass Effect writer explains why the movie adaptation never got off the ground. There was a Mass Effect movie in the works at one point, but apparently things didn't plan out according to BioWare. Speaking with Business Insider, Mass Effect writer Mark Walters said during the script writing process, the team felt it was always fighting the IP. What story are we going to tell in 90 or 120 minutes? Are we going to do it justice, says Walters. Dude, this makes me happy to see that they've canned this, that they had already so many issues, right? You try to crunch what Mass Effect is into 90 or 120 minutes. I think you almost have to stretch it out to be like a movie trilogy.
Yeah, exactly. That was the first thing I was going to say is I don't think you could do the whole trilogy in one movie. That seems just astronomically big. But you could definitely make a 6-part story out of it, a la Star Wars.
Yeah, no, for sure. He says, if you're going to tell a story that's as fleshed out as Mass Effect, TV is the way to do it. There's a natural way it fits with episodic content. So will we see a TV spin-off then, Scott, now that Mass Effect has kind of come back into the spotlight a little bit?
Oh, that gets me excited, and I 100% agree. The TV adaptation would be the best way to do it. Episodic kind of stuff that goes together into a long timeline. It's been a long time since I kept up with a Star Trek, or Stargate for that matter.
Sure.
There's a huge void where this could absolutely fit in.
Well, Scott, maybe this will hit your void with new Legends of Mana anime TV series announced.
I think it might.
Square Enix revealed the news today about the upcoming anime alongside our first look with some promotional art. I don't know about this one. The Legend of Mana anime is officially titled Legend of Mana: The Teardrop Crystal, and will follow the most recently released Mana title. Warner Brothers Japan, LCC, Graphica Inc., and Animation Lab are all collaborating for this new venture, a series that will be released worldwide. So look forward to that, I guess, Scott, if you're looking for some TV series.
That makes me think it's coming in English immediately and doesn't have to be translated just because they specify a worldwide release. Yeah, that sounds like something I could get into without having to wait for somebody to subtitle it.
For sure. Scott, let's get into Final Fantasy II Remake. Part 2 could differ significantly from the original, says the director. We have no idea when we are getting Final Fantasy II Remake, Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2, or even how many parts there will be in total, but we do have a new look at what could be potentially on the horizon thanks to a new blog post over the Square Enix website. In the most recent post, Final Fantasy VII Remake co-director Motomu Toriyama opened up a little bit more about the first part of the revisitation of the fan favorite, including about how we almost got a cloud pole dancing sequence. Scott, what the?
Now, you should see what they put in place of that scene, and it is hysterical.
Really?
They tried to dial it up to 11, and as this states, they almost went to 12.
Oh my goodness. In the same post, however, Toriyama mentioned that part 2 could possibly go in some pretty creative directions, something that could surprise diehard original fans. Scott, is that concerning to diehard fans though? You want to remake, and what they've redone obviously with Final Fantasy VII remake is completely changed a lot of the game. But how far do you take it with losing the touch of what made Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah, there are some major plot kind of beats that they have to hit. Otherwise, it would be a different game. But they are changing things quite a lot. From what I've heard, I haven't experienced the game, either the original or the remake yet. But from some fans that I've talked to, it seems like they're making these kind of creative decisions that just open up a possibility of like, well, what if? They're almost going through a what if scenario.
Wow.
In part 1, somebody who normally gets hurt doesn't. So there's a changing happening in the timeline. So it's interesting, but so far I think the reception is positive.
Nice.
So far.
I have it on my PlayStation 5, and there's one I've been meaning to get to, so I should probably... I don't know, man. I want to check it out, but part of me is like, it's more Final Fantasy, and it's not really my style. But it's definitely one of those, like, it's piqued my interest enough, right?
Oh, yeah. It's a huge deal to a lot of people.
Absolutely.
And it's of such a pedigree that I think it's worth checking out, even if you're not quite a Final Fantasy fan.
Yeah.
I very recently have become interested in Final Fantasy, so it's a big deal for me. But
no, for sure. Yeah, it's one of those things, man. I'm gonna check it out, Scott. I have to check it out. I'm gonna go download it again today. Fine, you got me. I'll check it out, and I'll report back tomorrow whether or not I downloaded it. Scott, let's get into what game releases are out today.
Well, today we have the release of Kazuya on Smash Bros. So that was the character that was revealed in E3 Nintendo Direct.
Yep.
Spawned a lot of hype, a lot of discussion. There's said to be one more character still coming that's yet to be announced, but Kazuya is now available to be downloaded and added to the Smash realm. So that's going to shake up a lot of things for Smash Bros. Players. But we do have some full releases as well today.
Nice.
And that being Curved Space, coming to PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, X and S, and the PC. Destroy All Humans has made its way to the Switch now. Disgaea 6, Defiance of Destiny, also onto the Switch. Doom Eternal has now been updated to PlayStation 5 and Series X and S caliber.
Nate's gonna lose it. He's going back into Doom. I can see it coming.
Time to do another Iron Man.
Oh,
no deaths. Then we have Sky, Children of the Light, that is coming to the Switch. Big day for Switch today.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have Spirit of the North coming to the Xbox One, Series X and S.
Scott, any of those titles stick out?
Well, Destroy All Humans was a very enjoyable series for me, so I'm excited that Switch players now can play that. I'm curious to see how that one runs. And Doom Eternal, still on my hard drive. I think I have to. I owe my Xbox Series X the experience of that game.
That's fair. Spirit of the North kind of interests me. I want to check out that one. See how that's. It looks cool. It reminds me of Lost Ember a little bit. Dude, I love that game. But either way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very cool. Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show. This has been ITG Daily. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. Don't forget, you can always join us live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, over on twitch.tv/theofficialITG, as well as YouTube. But you can't join us live, it's no big deal. Hit us up later at InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services, or TV streaming networks around the world. Until tomorrow, everybody, I'm Drew, that's Scott, and this is Inside the Game.